Welcome to Tailboard Talk, a fourth shift fitcast. The mission of Tailboard Talk and the fourth shift fitness is to educate and train fire service personnel to increase durability and decrease the potential for injuries and their associated costs. My name is Chris Morella, owner and founder of Fourth Shift Fitness. I'll use my experience as a personal trainer, strength coach, and 15-year veteran of the fire service to deliver tips, tricks, lessons, and information specifically geared towards the health and wellness of firefighters and paramedics. Each episode, you'll leave with immediate deliverables that will improve performance and resilience and keep you in the fight through your career and into retirement. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, Chris from Fourth Shift Fitness, and I'm here with Katie tonight. We just got back from a 10-day, right? 10 or 11-day road trip. We took the camper from Illinois to Florida over the course of 3 days, and then back over the course of 3-ish days too. We kind of split up the ride back, but it was a long driving trip. We left at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and then stopped driving at 3 in the afternoon, and the next morning we left at 3 in the morning, right? And then stopped when we get to Gainesville.
Like noon.
Then we had a 3-hour little jaunt after that down to St. Pete, and then driving back, we left at
1?
Yeah, like 1:20, 1:30, and stopped driving at 3 again. We went further that time.
Yeah, something like that.
It was long, and then like 9 or 10 hours the second day that we drove back. But we did go to Dinosaur World. What were you going to say?
It was only like 7 hours on the way back.
It was 7 hours on the map. It was like 9 hours of actual in the car time. Went to Dinosaur World. Went to 2 different chicken places. Jaxby's one. I got accused of stealing at Jeffrey's. Freddy's. Shithole of a restaurant. Yeah, I'm going to say it. We're going to put the explicit content one on this one. So we got chicken sandwiches, and we ordered a cheeseburger for Nathan, and then we were going to go to a park and eat. And when we got there, they put, first of all, we ordered a regular crispy chicken sandwich and a spicy crispy chicken sandwich. And when we got to the park, we opened it up, and there was no cheeseburger, so strike 1. Strike 2, it was both the same sandwich, and they put spicy sauce. Mayonnaise on it to make it a spicy chicken sandwich. Strike 2 and 3. Strike 4 was when I went back, and I told the lady, hey, I want my $6 back. And she had to go get her manager, and the manager came out and confronted me and said that she packed the order. And she said it was a weird way of confronting me, because she stood in front of me and said, what didn't you get? And I said, the double cheeseburger that we ordered. And she said, oh yeah, 2 on the bottom and 1 on top. And I said, what? And she said, yeah, I packed this order. And I went, okay. And then we just looked at each other for 10 seconds until she gave me my $6 back. And then I left there.
You drove right to Zaxby's.
And then we took that $6 and we went to Zaxby's and got a kick-ass chicken sandwich.
It was good.
That we had to wait 15 minutes for because they had to drop an entire, like, 20 pieces of chicken in the fryer. It came in a foil bag that was insulated. We got fries that were better. Nathan ate the chicken strips. It was just a 100% different experience. So if you're going anywhere, I don't even know where Zaxby's.
It's south. It's a southern thing, I think.
South of
Indiana.
Yeah, so we got ours in Kentucky.
Which is south of Indiana.
But we saw I guess I won't take any breaths during my sentences anymore. All right, so I'm just going to not breathe. I'm just going to talk so you don't have any pauses. Ridicule me. We saw fucking
oh my God, you and your geography.
Billboards. We saw billboards of it from Kentucky all the way down to Florida, though.
Oh, no, you know where
is what I was going to say. Yeah.
Okay. Good job.
I know where Florida is in comparison to Kentucky.
Are you sure?
Only because I drove the entire time through it.
Hey, I drove for 43 minutes.
Yeah. It felt like a million.
It did.
For both of us. But all that being said, we were gone for 10 days, and I only did one like formal workout in that time, and it was the Devote December stuff. I linked up 2 Devote December days. It took a total of like 20 or 25 minutes, and I was sore for 4 days afterwards. But I only did one workout, and I was thinking back, and really working out, unless it was a trip where Kurt and I went to Florida to work out with Raph, working out has not been like a giant staple in our vacations. I don't think. It's been there, but it hasn't been like, we don't plan on a heavy workout regimen when we go on vacation or even when we travel.
No, we kind of just, you kind of just wing it. I just follow along. So it's not like, okay, we know we're going to work out.
Sheeple. Just kidding.
If I had it my way, I would just sit in a chair with a cocktail. No one would bother
Well, we
me.
did that once. We had 2 Mexico trips that we just kind of hashed out before we started recording. What was the first one? That was a smaller resort.
The first one, it was like a last-minute booking, smaller resort. We would go walking, and I used the gym. You would go do water stuff. And that one, we pretty much worked out every morning, or at least went for a really long walk every morning. And then we were just total beach bum lounge lizards.
Like the rest of the day.
Yeah. Well, not even the rest of the day. I would be for all day. You did some like volleyball playing and swimming stuff. I kind of just bobbed in the water.
Yeah. Sound like a real athlete there. You went and did the volleyball things and swimming stuff.
Well, I remember you asked me, they're going to go play volleyball. I don't play volleyball. And I said, no, I want to sit in my chair with my cocktail.
I said, bye.
Yeah. There's
a puff of dust. And the second one is when I got poisoned.
Yes.
Right.
You did get food poisoning.
Another confrontation with a food service employee.
She was just rude.
She was very rude. She was yelling at
some poor guy.
Foreigners.
Some poor guy who didn't speak English. I think he only spoke Spanish.
If that, yeah. Mm-hmm. It was at a Starbucks at
like 4 in the morning.
Not even, yeah. And she was yelling at the guy because he was asking details about the menu, and she was yelling at him like, "What do you want? Like, just order something."
Well, she was just doing that thing where he didn't understand it. He had very broken English, and so he was trying very hard. And she, instead of just starting to slow down and like help him, just yelled at him louder.
She got louder.
And then she made a couple whoopsies, and she got yelled at.
Yeah, but
then and sent to the back.
Poisoned my ass.
And then you got food poisoning from the sandwich you yelled at her about.
Wow.
Anyways, long story short, you got food poisoning.
A sandwich. And then I stood there like an idiot for like 10 minutes as other people's orders were coming out. And then I asked one of her coworkers, who was obviously embarrassed of her behavior too. I said, "Am I getting my sandwich?" And she said, "Oh, I think she forgot." And I said, "I'll talk to her." And she went, "Ooh." And I was like, "Oh, I'll definitely talk to her now." And I said, "Where's my sandwich?" And she said, "We don't have that." And I said, "Well, figure it out because you charged me for it." In all fairness, I had watched her yell at several other people, and I probably used a different F word when I said, "Figure it out." I said, "For the love of God, figure it
out." Sure.
Anyway, she got her sandwich, and she poisoned me, and then I threw up for 12 hours. Then we used the gym.
You didn't use the gym at all that trip. I did. And then we would go for walks.
Because I almost died.
Yes.
Long story short, working out, would you say it's needed or overrated on vacation?
I think it depends on the situation. This past vacation, probably overrated because our day was nonstop every day.
Yeah. Pushing the double stroller.
Running after Nathan. Running after you.
We were at the beach doing stuff. Mm-hmm. I took a bunch of walks carrying Nathan. Mm-hmm. We didn't do any like actual just beach walking, which we usually do a lot of.
Yeah, there was none of that this time. Nathan doesn't really walk.
No, there's a lot
Nathan
of chasing.
kind of just goes.
A lot of chasing.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 3 on each side. I have 3 reasons that one would be needed and 3 reasons why workouts on vacation would be overrated. The first one is not a factor for us anymore. And
these being overrated?
Needed.
Okay.
Why would you need a workout on vacation? And the first one is not a factor for us anymore, and that's boredom. Like, this isn't the trip I expected it to be. I thought we were going to do a lot more stuff. We're just sitting around or these people I came on the trip with just want to hang out and do nothing by the pool all day, and I want to go do stuff.
I want to find those people. I would have really liked those people on this trip.
You were those people.
Okay.
Whoopsies. But that'd be boredom. And so at that point, you're like, maybe I'll just go work out because that sounds like fun times. And I have a lot of energy to... I'm not saying you. I'm saying someone would frowning at me. But boredom's a reason why you might need a workout on vacation, right? Mm-hmm. What's your number one why you might need a workout on vacation?
My number one would be, depending on where you're going in the situation, would be if your eating habits changed. And I mean, and your drinking habits. I mean, most people when they go on vacation, if you like a cocktail here and there, you might have a couple more cocktails, or if you're drinking like those frozen sugary drinks like daiquiris or margaritas or just even more wine, then eating more than normal or bigger portions than normal, or less smaller portions but more frequently. So I think if like your eating and drinking habits change, I like to make sure I'm moving a little bit so I don't bring any vacation weight home with me.
Yeah. Well, it can be a good way to get going too. Like if you feel like crap from eating a ton,
right,
and being out drinking all night, it is possible to go work out a little bit and get like a little bit of life back in you.
Oh yeah, just to go for like walk or the elliptical, like nothing like crazy, like go lift a bunch of weights, but definitely just to
nothing crazy, nothing outlandish, like a little bit of weights and stuff. Well, I have the same thing, but I took it to a new level. I said gluttony and sloth because I think until you get, I mean, it's got to be a pretty significant deviation.
I will say the only time I've ever seen you move slow on vacation and not like work out, want to do something all the time, every day, nonstop, is the time you got food poisoning. And in my opinion, those first 3 days were great because you were a lounge lizard. You didn't want to do anything.
I wasn't a lounge lizard. I was dying.
Yeah. You were totally dying. But you survived. And it was...
Didn't kill me. It made me stronger.
Totes.
Yeah, right. And then my third one is continued goals. So like if you're in... I mean, it's pretty specific. If you're training for a marathon or you have a competition or something coming up where fitting in your regimen or keeping your plan up isn't going to be a huge hindrance and it's just part of your day and you can just fit it in and it's not a big deal, then I think it's needed, right? You don't want to like derail yourself necessarily if you've been training for a marathon for months and months and months and then you're forced to take a week off. That could mentally and physically kind of throw a hitch in your giddy up. So, I don't know. In that particular case, I would say it's needed, but those are very specific and like few and far between. Mm-hmm. Like we went on the bike trip when Tim was 2 weeks out from a jiu-jitsu competition, and it was miserable for him because he couldn't drink any alcohol and he couldn't eat what we were eating because he was trying to cut weight like smartly, and the trip was not fun for him.
Yeah, it didn't sound fun at all.
And that was a bike trip, so we did a lot of activity anyways, but he felt like he had to do more and extra because he was in training. He probably shouldn't have gone on the trip. The trip was probably a detriment at that point, but yeah, it was, he had to eat and drink a certain way to continue his goal of getting to a certain weight to compete like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't have gone. I feel like that just takes the joy out of like the whole purpose of the vacation.
It did take a lot of his joy away. So much so he's not going this year.
Oh.
Whatever. He hasn't wanted to go the past 4 years. We kind of dragged him into it. Now, why would you say that working out on vacation is overrated?
Because sometimes you just need a break.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay to not do anything.
For a couple days.
Like if you're going for like a weekend getaway. Like I'm going on this girls trip in January.
Yeah.
I doubt anyone's going to be working out.
I promise no one will.
Oh, I'm sure me and Ashley actually will go for walks on the beach.
That's different.
Not like a full-blown workout. No.
Right.
No. But we're all going to get away from our loving families that we love so much.
Yeah. And you're going to come back to us too.
Yep.
Well,
I have no choice.
So that's one of my points in here is the trip is active enough. Well, the second part of that, like you're not going to be not with that.
No, our trip is not going to be active.
Not with that particular.
We've already nixed.
You're going to be tired of talking.
Yes.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. It's a bunch of moms going, so I'm sure everyone's like, don't look at me, don't talk to me, just keep my cocktail full.
Yeah.
Tell me in 10 minutes when I need to flip over and fry my back.
You're going to smell like one of those chicken sandwiches we had in Kentucky.
At least you'll be happy I came home then.
Tasty little snack. All right. Oh, hon. All right. My number one. Now, this goes with the Tim thing, too. It's overrated. Workouts are overrated if they mess up your plans or if they keep you from actually enjoying a part of vacation or get in the way of an opportunity on vacation. So we've been on vacations before where we would have tried to schedule a morning thing or whatever, and people have opted out of that morning thing, whatever it was, because they had to go for their run or they had to do their workout or they had to...
We don't go on vacation with those people anymore.
No. And it was annoying because we're like, well, you're here and this is something you can only do here. Let's go do it. And they're like, well, I always go for my run, so I'm just going to do that. I'm like, okay, you suck. So if you force it, if it messes up plans, if it screws up someone's itinerary, if it throws like a big glitch in the day, I call it overrated. I think at that point...
I think you should backpedal a little bit because in that particular situation, it was important to them and normally wouldn't be a big deal, but it was a group of like 8 of us. So it wasn't just like for that particular scenario you just said to give that person the benefit of the doubt.
There's a little bit of benefit to be given. If it's important to you and if you look at the two options and you say this morning thing will be cool, but I like running more, then yeah, go for it. I suppose it's different that versus if we need 6 people to go on this thing.
Right.
And you're the 6th person and you say, no, I'm going to go do my own thing instead. And you kind of blow up everyone else's plans because you need to go on your 3.5 mile run. I think that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, I get it. If you look at a situation, you decide it's not for you and you'd rather go for a run or go do a workout. That's what I do a majority of it. That's what we do a lot. What we want to instead of...
Well, now we just do whatever Nathan wants to.
Yeah, which is running.
Running.
And number 2, the trip is active enough. Did I say that one already? Mm-hmm. Whoopsies. Number 3 then, when it adds to the stress. Now, this is something we talk about a lot for first responders. Definitely not specific to them, though, because anybody can fall into a amygdala trap. But there's a certain point where you're so stressed out. Are you okay?
Yes, that was a good word usage.
It's a brain thing. So there's a certain point where everything is stress. That's how everything is. Your body does a great job of recognizing stress. Your body does a terrible job at delineating different kinds of stress and what is positive and negative necessarily, distress and eustress. Any hoozles, you can get to a point where you're so stressed out that everything sends you kind of to a breaking point. So even a workout is a detriment. And if you're at that point and you're going on vacation to kind of try to alleviate that, then doing a high intensity workout or doing something that you usually do might contribute to your stress and might further your stress response and might actually make whatever symptoms you're dealing with worse. So at that point, walking or doing nothing or something low impact or recovery based would be kind of the best option. One thing that we usually do a ton of, and we do it more now just in a different form, and I've talked about with Kurt and Annette, and it's been brought up here before with other people too, is walking. If you walk for about a half hour a day at a decent pace, which means that you're impacting your heart rate, which isn't hard to do. You can walk at a slower pace now, pushing a double stroller with 2 psychopaths in it, and me carrying my action camera, recording the entire thing. Doing that will carry, I think, a greater benefit overall than worrying about getting a workout in every other day or every day you're on vacation. If you walk and you're walking at a decent clip and you're dealing with elevation or it's difficult to carry on a conversation while you're walking, the benefit of that and the impacts of that, both physically and mentally, may be more beneficial than worrying about what WOD you're going to do for the day, or if the weights in the gym don't fit the weights you have at home, or if the equipment isn't good enough, or it's not the kind of bike you like, or the treadmill sucks compared to the one that you usually use. Don't worry about that stuff. Go for a walk. That's going to be the biggest bang for your buck. And while you're on vacation, just try to enjoy it. And that's about it.
Yeah.
What else do you think?
I think you hit all the good points.
All of them?
All of them.
There's no more good points to go over?
Oh, no, I'm sure there is. I just can't think of any right now.
So, it's because you're sleepy?
It's been a day.
I know.
It's been a couple days.
It's been 2 weeks. But I'm going back to work tomorrow.
I know.
All right, guys. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. We're still going through Devote December. It's every weekday. Annette and I are posting an option of 1 or 2 things every day. It's usually either a physical thing or a mental thing that you can participate in, and we're aiming to reduce firefighter and EMS suicides, and we're further strengthening the link between physical action and mental health. So go check out Devote December on Instagram primarily. I'm not sure if it's linked to Facebook anymore. We're kind of trying to get away from that, but go check out what we're suggesting you do each day. Repost it, tag us, tag Devote December in it, and we'll try to grow that thing as much as we can. If you need anything from me, reach out, fourthshiftfit@gmail.com or Fourth Shift Fitness on all social media. I guess we'll talk to you guys next time. You want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye.